tell you, this is loud. This is sport.
Welcome back to the Morning View. Now, Aston Villa's new manager Tim Sherwood has been speaking to the media this morning. Let's take you now to that and hear what he's had to say.
We're looking from the outside, but it looked a little bit tentative, you know, and I think they need to play on the front foot a little bit more, you know, and you're going to win games, you're going to lose games between now and the end of the season, but let's have a go fighting, you know, and start throwing a few punches ourselves.
Were you surprised at that, being at home? I mean, you must have played here a lot of times, and it can be a daunting place to come, Villa Park. Were you surprised at how sometimes it can be like the home team's the away team, you know?
Don't know, can't. I mean, I haven't been a manager yet. I was on one game yesterday. All I know is that when I come to play here, as a player, it was a difficult place to come. You know, difficult place to come and get results. And I want to turn that back into a fortress again, you know, especially for between now and the end of the season. It's going to be very, very important that this club stays in the Premier League. You've
Spoken to a few clubs over the last few months. For whatever reason, it hasn't worked out. Why Villa?
It's a fantastic opportunity and it's a huge football club, you know, and obviously when I got the call, would I be interested in coming to present to Aston Villa? It was a no-brainer. You know, I just said yes, and I'll take the job, and then we'll negotiate after. You know, it was about seeing if I could present, seeing if they liked what I said. Fortunately, they did, and now I'm here.
Have you spoke to Randy Lerner? Has he given you the parameters at which you got working? Yeah,
I spoke to him briefly, but I spoke to Tom Fox at length about the vision of the club, and I liked what I had to hear. You know, it's obviously the philosophy is different this season to how it's going to be in the long run, because we're in a difficult situation at the moment. There's no getting away from that, and I need to get the best out of this group of players to try and get enough wins to keep us in this division, and then we can look at it again.
Is it fair to say that you deal with Tom Fox from now on? It's you and him. Randy's in America. You two are the hands-on men.
I think so. I think it's obviously when someone's about and they're on hand and you can speak to them. It's like Tom is. Then he'll be my contact. Yeah.
What are you doing about backroom stuff?
I'm giving it some thought, Pete. You know, I haven't made any decisions yet, and I'm sure the decisions I make will be the correct ones for the club.
What do you do? There'll be a tendency. There's 13 games to go. It's win or lose, for want of better words. You've got to go a bit gung ho, or how do you play it?
Like I think I said it just a minute ago. It's about on the pitch. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think you just got to try and win football matches, mate. You know, have a go. You know, we've got good players who can play off the cuff, good 1v1 individual ability. Need to get them on the ball in the right areas of the field. I remember playing against Christian Benteke, you know, as a manager, and I know what a handful we can be. You know, we need to get him back to that. You know, he's going to be a very important part of this squad going forward, as are many others. There's a lot of big names in that squad, and none of them at all want to get relegated. No one does at this football club, and it will hurt them to drop into the Championship. We got to make sure that doesn't happen.
When you look at the squad, it doesn't seem a bad squad, does it? Are you surprised to see them where they are?
Yeah, I think everyone in football would be surprised to see them where they are, but you know that happens. And not if they're not in the position now for no reason, and there's a reason for that. And I need to get on the training field, take everyone at face value, see what I see, and pick my teams accordingly.
I know you're talking to us now. What are the next steps? What are you doing? What's on today? What are you going to do?
Well, I'll go to the training ground, do a bit of planning for the rest of the week. Then we'll train tomorrow. See how the boys are, and we'll get a plan going forward to Stoke at the weekend.
Tim, do you see Villa as a sleeping giant?
I see it as a giant club. I see it as a massive football club, huge, lot of history, and obviously one, as I said earlier, is one that it's a great honour for me to be asked to be the manager of.
Your last game at Spurs was beating Villa, wasn't it, back in May? Who would have thought that the wheel had come full circle and you would now be sitting here at Villa Park?
Yeah, I mean, if you would have told me that, I mean, at the time, I still thought I was Tottenham manager. So I wasn't officially told that I wasn't going to be. So yeah, to obviously come from a big club, which is Tottenham, into another big club, Aston Villa, is fantastic for me, and I'm just want to give my 100%, you know, to keep this club in the Premier League this season, short term, and then try and move the club on in the future.
It's just a week ago that Paul Lambert described the challenge as 13 cup finals. What words would you choose?
Yeah, Paul's right. Yeah, it will be that. It will be cup final. Hopefully 14 with the FA Cup. So it's going to be very important that we win games, and I will do whatever I can to make sure that we get enough games to get over that line.
Do you fancy Villa against Blackburn in the quarter-finals?
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah.
When you were at Tottenham, you were already there, they knew all about you. How is this coming into a club that you know you haven't experienced before?
I've got a way I like to work. It has been a success, albeit a short period at Tottenham. I was a success there on the development phase of the football club, and on the as a first team manager. So I know how to win games in this league. I know how to galvanise players and get the best out of them, and that's what I intend to do with this group. So it's pretty simple, really. All I can do is prepare the team to the best of my ability, and then let them cross that line, and hopefully we will win together.
At Tottenham, they knew you. You were chosen here. How does that feel now that you were chosen as opposed to you were an internal applicant?
Yeah, it's a good point. I was chosen, but Daniel Levy had a lot of options. He didn't have to choose me, so I was chosen there also. And you're quite right, he knew me for a lot of years previously. These guys don't, but I'm hoping to be here as long as I was at Tottenham.
Longer as a manager, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You sorted out Adebayor, you're there. Christian Benteke is the heart and soul of this club. What will it take to get him firing again?
Probably a goal for himself. You know, his confidence. You know, if he scores goals, it will breed confidence, and the rest will follow. But it's certainly not a one-man team. You know, I think that he's going to be an important part of it because we know what he can be, and we need to try and see if he can recapture that form. What we all know, because all the best clubs in the world were after him. You know, everyone wanted to take him, and I'm sure we can tap into that confidence and get him back firing. But he's going to need to be helped out by the rest of the group as well, and there's some fantastic players in the squad. So it's not only Christian, it's a lot of other players in this squad, and they need to step to the front now and start performing.
During the release that the club gave out, they're talking about giving youth a chance, youth development. At Tottenham, you had a rich choice of players come through: Kane, your man in midfield, Mason. Here, do you have that?
I don't know. I haven't seen too much of the youth set up here. It's obviously something I believe in. I believe that the youth should get the opportunity. It is more of a long-term view that, you know, don't expect too many under 18 players playing on Saturday. You know, it's about me assessing them. Are they good enough? They only play if they're good enough. You know, and if they've got the right application and desire to want to be a professional footballer. And them boys at Tottenham, what you're talking about, they all had that. They were brought up that way. Now, that's a long-term plan for the football club. Of course, we want to bring through our homegrown players. But for the short period, we've got them cup finals now. Between now and the end of the season, it's all about winning. All about winning, nothing else.
Strong words from